Hello, I'm back. I read Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. Um, this is the book that the movie was based on, if you've ever watched Howl's Moving Castle, the movie from Studio Ghibli. I did actually rewatch after finishing the book, I did actually rewatch the movie just to refresh myself on that, um, just for comparison's sake. Um, Start with, book is very good. It is a really good book. Uh, I think it's sort of technically classed as young adult. I would sort of, speaking personally, I would actually classify it as like middle grade. Um, it is very much appropriate for kids. Um, and it is very, very good. Um, so it is about a young woman named Sophie. She is, I believe, 18. One thing that she lives in, should mention, she lives in Kingdom of Ingary, which is a sort of fantasy world. Uh, she is the eldest of three sisters, and in Ingary, there is a superstition that the eldest child is the unluckiest. Um, it says at the beginning, everyone knows you are the one who will fail first and worst if the three of you set out to seek your fortunes. So, yeah. Or yes, so specifically, the eldest of three. She's the eldest of three children, three sisters. Um, her sisters are Letty and Martha. Letty is about 1 year younger. Martha doesn't really say how much younger Martha is, but I think Martha's about like 14 or something like that, like a couple years younger than them. So, still, they're all still young. Um, Sophie works in a hat shop. Uh, her father's dead. Both her parents are dead, but she's still got her stepmother, who is not wicked at all. Her stepmother, a bit flighty, but she is good. Unlike in the movie, she doesn't betray Sophie at any point in the book. Um, anyway, yeah, she works in a hat shop. She gets cursed by the Witch of the Waste, so she ends up leaving home. Finds herself outside Howl's castle. Which Wynne Jones herself actually imagined it as sort of floating, not like without legs. She imagined it sort of floating, almost like a hovercraft type of thing. Um, so she was pretty intrigued when Miyazaki gave it legs. Anyway, she ends up moving into the Howl's castle. And that's actually kind of where the book and movie really start to differ. So, in the movie, Howl's assistant is just a child. He's like 6. In the book, he's 15. So, still a kid, but he's a teenager at that point. And Sophie and Howl, again, in the movie, it's Sophie's got sort of almost a love at first sight thing with Howl. It is very much a romance, and they care for each other like damn near from the time that she enters the castle. Book, not so much. She spends a long time not trusting Howl at all, because there's rumors about him stealing women's hearts, or eating women's hearts, devouring women's hearts. And she believes those rumors. She does find out the truth. He doesn't devour their hearts. Instead, what he does is he pursues young women. He pursues attractive women, and once they fall in love with him, he loses interest in them. So he becomes like completely obsessed with a girl. Tries to win her over, and then as soon as she falls for him, he loses interest and runs away. So once she finds that out, wow, she does not like that about him. And she is very much a busybody in the book. She's very nosy and, Howl does not like that at all. Finds her kind of annoying. So they spend a lot of time bickering. It's like 2/3 of the way through the book before she even entertains the idea that he might not be all bad and that she might care about him. It's kind of funny. It's a very fun dynamic. It is a genuinely really fun dynamic that they have. Beyond that, there's revelations about herself. She does discover something about herself. I won't spoil anything, but very cool twist for her. Howl's origin is very unexpected. Again, I won't spoil it, except to say that his origin makes me even more convinced that that they got the wrong voice actor for the movie. For the English version, at least. Japanese, they just cast a Japanese guy. But, they cast the wrong voice actor for Howl in the English dub. And yeah, a lot of the book is just sort of the relationships between Sophie, Howl, Michael, and Calcifer, the fire demon. Fire demon who sort of keeps the house moving. And another major difference between the book and the movie. In the movie, there are hints of a coming war. The king is worried about a possible war with another kingdom. The royal wizard Suleiman is missing. Again, the movie's really different because it has to be. It's, this is, fairly large print, but it's 400-page book. Like I said, fairly large print, but still, it's a fairly long book by middle grade standards, and a lot of it is sort of because it's prose. It's able to sort of very quickly lay out a lot of stuff. Movie has had to change a lot of things. So some characters get dropped, some characters get combined, things like that. But yeah, the biggest difference, aside from the fact that the movie is much more of a romance between Sophie and Howl, I think the biggest difference is that the movie, the war is actually going on. Because Miyazaki himself, a lot of his movies deal with war. Because it's something that, you know, even, decades after World War II ended, it's something that is still kind of a part of him. So the war doesn't actually, there is no actual war in the book compared to the movie. Movie doesn't really have a primary villain. Kinda Suleiman, but not really. The war really is the main villain. And the book, the Witch of the Waste, is the main villain. She only gets dealt with at the very end of the book. Yeah, like that is sort of the climax, is dealing with the Witch of the Waste. Whose reasoning for wanting Howl is really weird. It's a really weird reason she wants him. But it's interesting. And it's a lot of really, it's really good. Um, Deals a lot with destiny. Sophie feels trapped by her destiny as the eldest daughter. Howell rejects destiny and is determined to set his own. Courage is sort of a big theme. Howell only finds his courage when he has no choice. And yeah, it's got a lot of really interesting stuff going on. And yeah, it is a really good book. It is a very enjoyable read. Since it is, again, middle grade appropriate, at least. I don't know if it's necessarily specified as middle grade. I feel like it should be. I feel like that's the most appropriate category for it, age category. But because it is sort of that appropriate for that, it is a fairly quick read despite its length. It does go by fairly quickly just because it is sort of designed that way. It is meant as an easy read, and it is very much easy in the sense of it just keeps you going, keeps you skimming along. So, yeah, very good. Next thing I read, since I watched Howl's Moving Castle, Miyazaki kick. Hayao Miyazaki, Shuna's Journey. This is a sort of an old book, I think he did. I believe. Maybe? Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah. 1983. I think this is just a new translation of a thing he did back in 1983. Which does have very pretty art. That very pretty Miyazaki art style. And which is probably still about war. Because, like I said, that is definitely a big theme for Miyazaki. But that'll be for next time. For now, definitely recommend giving Howl's Moving Castle a chance. It's an enjoyable read. And if you know any kids, then yeah, definitely worth giving to them. They are likely to enjoy it. This particular edition has a interview in the back with Diana Wynne Jones herself, and she does find it interesting how many young women really want to marry Howl, which she doesn't really quite get it. She describes him as a drama queen. There are a couple other books in the Castle series, Castle in the Air and House of Many Ways. So, don't know if I will get around to reading those. Maybe I will. It might be they might be worth reading. She did want to do another one. She did want another book in the series, but apparently she has never quite figured out how to do it. She never quite figured out sort of what to do with another Castle book. But yeah, she's great. So yeah, Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. Good book.